Alright, anyways, hello, how's it going, boys? What is up? Source back once again for yet another character impression. This time we have Anderson. Where's Neo, man? It's Anderson, man. It's fucking Anderson, dude. Alright, so this is another character based on the story with Ingwe and all that stuff. He's a fire character. He has 100 HP. He has 7400 attack. Defense style. He's a spear axe. Schwarzer Cannoneer. Yeah, I can't pronounce for shit. Okay. Massive fire damage to a foe. Remove one buff and restores Anderson's HP. Alright. Cool. So he can dispel and heal himself on Ogi. So sure. Morgan Road. Morgan Road? Yeah, Morgan Road. 800 fire damage to a foe, 30% boost to caster's charge bar. So not multi-hit. Alright, so he's trash then, right? Yeah, I can pronounce all these dank ass names, man. Amplify caster's normal attack damage, do triple attacks while in effect, attack without using up a turn. So he can do that as well, but he's fire, so trash, right? So this goes down to 6 turns. This is 8 turns. Okay. Yeah. Substitute effect to caster. Receives all ally attacks. 1000 boost to defense. Tank counter effect 5 hits. He has an all ally sub and he can be super tank. Alright, cool. Cool. 8 turns. You can do that every 8 turns. Nice. Rugged Spearhead's Onslaught. No charge bar gain upon normal attacks. Activate first skill after normal attacks. So it's kind of like Wilnas in a way. Righteous General in Sable. Capped win damage taken at 5000. 1/3 cut to buff skill cooldowns upon taking damage. Oh. So he can reduce his second and third skill whenever it takes damage. So it's kind of like Quatre in a way. Not bad. So I guess the TLDR for this guy is basically like he's the subtickable version of Wilnas, I suppose. Right? He's kind of like Wilnas, but you can subtix him. Blade of Loyalty. This looks like a fucking big ass sword. 20% win cut. Small boost to fire. So small majesty. Oh wow, that's a lot of HP, huh? He has 2 HP, but this has no full limit break either. So can kind of ignore for now, I guess. Looks alright. I mean, his weapon looks alright, but yeah, no full limit break. You can kind of just ignore for now, though. Honestly, though, he looks pretty nice to full auto with, because he can dispel on Ogi too. So it's actually not too bad to use with Kango as well. Looks pretty good. But yeah, I do not know why Fire is still suffering from that though, isn't it? Fire is consistently suffering with characters that are somewhat nuke focused character, like skill nukes that doesn't use multi-hit. The only one that's like really consistently doing that until today is Summer Medusa, Summer Kubira, Christmas Nemone. Those are the few ones that are still doing that. You know, the multi-hit nuke part. They really don't want to go into that with Fire yet, huh? Fire is only like those few notable characters that has multi-hit nukes. Oh yeah, Athena. Those few ones, yeah. They don't really want to focus on that, do they? Because a lot of new characters these days that has been released on other elements seems to have multi-hit shit. SS multi-hit? Only if you ULB, I think. Anyways, what's his numbers like? So his heal is 2000, which is, yeah, I guess that's kind of normal, right? 2000 heals on Ogi is relatively normal. First skill, so his 800% is 730k base cap. Seems normal as well. And then second skill is 30% amplified. Guarantee triple attack. And only lasts for 1 turn. 8 turns cooldown as well. Man, he needs to get hit a lot then to really reduce the turns. And then it's all ally sub was last for 1 turn. This is 3 turns, 3 turns. Yeah, so yeah, seems kind of normal, I suppose. His numbers are relatively normal. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that really requires me to look at numbers, because it's already mentioned 1000% here, 5000 wind damage cap. Activate his S1 whenever he autos. So basically, he only gets meter whenever other characters Ogi. Yeah, so it's kind of like Naru in a way. Yeah. So, alright, how's his EMP? He looks pretty okay though. His EMP looks decent. At least he has a skill cap, he has hostility up. You know, because everybody seems to be complaining about a certain Grand character not having hostility, right? Despite being a tank. You know? Despite him being a tank, at least he has hostility, right? Yeah, so he has healing as well, which is relatively interesting, because he only heals on his Ogi. I guess that's kind of nice, I suppose. Crit, sure. The rest, I guess you just level anything you want, I suppose. Because, you know, he has a passive like that, right? You probably want to get hostility, I suppose. You want hostility, healing, and skill cap for sure, just so you can nuke harder. Crit, sure. So this 4 is the really important ones, I guess. I mean, technically speaking, you don't really... I don't even think you really need hostility though. Yeah, I feel like you don't really even need hostility, just because of... there's a lot of raids these days that are, you know, that has been, you know, released recently, are highly focused on like multi-hit kind of thing, and mostly AoE attacks and shit, so... It's not really it's more like the hostilities, I would say, is just mostly for like multi-hit or triggers from bosses, right? But he has his sub, and then it's a all ally sub every 8 turns, and then if the boss still multi hits with AoE or whatever, you can actually get that up quite fast, so it's not so bad. Yeah. It's not too bad, but like, judging from what he has right now as a character, it looks like he's just a budget Wilnas. Yeah, he can do relatively okay if you have like Silva and shit, and then you just ramp together with Silva. Like you put this guy with Silva or whatever, as in Yukata Silva. It's not too bad, right? It doesn't seem like a bad character. It's just that, yeah, for him to function relatively well on his own, not that great. You know, you need probably another character to work with him, or you have like Kango set up or some shit. Yeah, just so he can consistently heal himself and dispel as well. Just so like if you're using say for example like with the help of what's her name, Medusa, right? Just so you can dispel like crazy. So you can get Medusa to dispel once, and then if you know, like say future Guild War boss which require us to dispel a lot, right? So in other words, getting him to help as well is actually pretty good, because sometimes you see a character like this can actually be relatively useful in like even the likes of Nightmare 200, because you're gonna press this in turn 1, right? And then you can like Guild War is going to AoE attacks all the time, so you're gonna reduce his cooldowns, right, because of this. So if you were to take that in consideration, he could, alright, he could potentially get his third skill, his all ally sub, probably in maybe turn 4 or turn 5. Alright, you could, because it's 8 turns cooldown, and then you're probably reducing it a lot by just him getting hit non-stop. So even so, maybe it's not turn 4 or turn 5, right? You could maybe, if it's really, really bad, right? You could probably get him up in like turn 6, right? For Nightmare 200, you could probably line that up very, very nicely at 50%. It's like, what I'm trying to say is it sounds possible for him to line up his S3 with a big trigger during Guild War. It sounds very, very possible. Because it's only 8 turns cooldown, right? And then you can reduce that shit. So it seems possible. So, but if your damage may be lacking, probably not. Because, you know, if your damage is not on par, right, you're not going to be able to line that shit up properly, right? So, if that, in that case, right, you're probably better off just manualing his ass, you know? But yeah, I do see some potential on this guy, either way. He looks like a relatively nice character to have, like, say for example, if you also didn't get, what's her name? Medusa, right? If you didn't get Medusa, for example, right? Summer Medusa, you could, if you have like that Wilnas Yukata Silva setup, you could also run both of them, including this guy as well, and I think it might actually still be okay. It really doesn't sound that bad though on paper, right? Is that just me? And then because you probably be using Kango MC, right? It doesn't sound like a really bad setup. It really does sound like a usable combo. Like, you are probably getting a lot of hostility and shit already with the help of Wilnas, but at the same time, because you are technically fighting against those kind of bosses where, you know, the boss already multi-attacks or AoEs like crazy, so it's not really that bad, is it, right? On paper, it doesn't sound too bad for me, but I don't know. I can't really like say for a fact because, you know, I don't really have the character. So this is just mostly hence the first impressions kind of thing. This is just saying shit out, theory crafting just based on what I have right now. You know, just on in my head kind of thing. Can't really test the character without really knowing it, right? But I don't think there's really much else for me to say, do I? Okay, let me see. Is there any other information that I missed? Yeah, I don't think so. He looks pretty chill though. He looks pretty chill. There's potential in there. Don't get me wrong. It's similar to a certain other Water Grand character, right? There's potential, but yeah. Some people may not actually see that yet, but yeah. I think one of the main issues, TLDR, for this guy is that he needs some help. He needs some sort of support to go well with this guy. I don't think he can function relatively well on his own, unfortunately, though. So, like, if you're a relatively new player, for example, and then you just get him only, and you think that's gonna work out, probably not. I don't think it's gonna work relatively well for you, yeah. But, anyways, I think that's all I'm going to say for this guy. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys find this helpful in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah. Till then, on to the next video or on stream, lol. Okay, alright.